Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second podcast on TurboTalk. I'm B. I'm here with my husband, Kai, and we have some topics to discuss today.
Yes, we do.
Do you want to start off?
Years ending quickly.
It really is. The time flew by
December.
like crazy. This time last year, we were prepping to go on our honeymoon. We got married at the end of November, and
we were going to go right away, and then things didn't work out.
Yeah.
So we had to push it to...
I tore my ligament on my knee.
Push it to... When did we go? January. Yeah, so a little after a couple months. And then, you know, after like the sixth day, I got antsy because I'm not used to not doing anything.
When we were on vacation?
On vacation, or in general.
Yeah.
Like if I'll be home for 2 days, I'll go crazy.
Yes, ask me that. Ask me how I feel about that.
So after, I think after like 8 days, it's too much.
I think
personally,
I think after a week,
maybe
it's
I'm
too
different,
much.
but
no, I think after a
like
week,
after
it's too
the
much.
9th, we stayed for what, 10 days?
Yeah.
After the 9th day, I was like, I gotta get out of here.
I definitely.
Because there's only so much sitting and drinking and partying or going out to dinner you could do in a short amount of time. It's all the same stuff.
I definitely would have done it much different. I would have probably just wanted to go a week
And it's not like we didn't do activities during the day.
We did a lot.
We did a lot.
We went snorkeling. We went diving.
That's the same thing.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. Snorkeling.
We drove around.
We
walked around.
We walked that whole island. We went to Turks and Caicos, if anybody's wondering. I think, like, I was sort of
scared. I rode
scared.
a bicycle.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I watched because none of the women in my family can ride bikes.
Oh, we'll change that soon.
I'm good. True story.
What else? Yeah, but, you know, after a week into it, I wanted to just come home.
I think we were bored with each other, too. Like, we needed
Yeah, because, we don't
people.
spend 24/7 together on a day-to-day basis.
No, we don't. What do we spend, like 8 hours together?
Yeah, barely.
We go to sleep, and then we're both off to doing what we do.
So, yeah, it's a different experience, but definitely a memorable one.
It was
Would
nice.
I go there again? Probably not.
I think, I get such
I'd go
backlash
somewhere
on
else.
this. I think that I complain too much about the price. For me, I feel like if you're spending so much that you should get so much out of it. And I think I wouldn't go to a place that is not all-inclusive ever again. Because you walk, you pay.
Yep.
You know, and it
that was the only
bothered
bad part
me.
about it.
I was
but
like,
other
should
than
I
that,
drink another drink, or am I going to get charged another $25?
Plus tip.
Plus tip, but plus 20% island tip.
Yeah.
I think one day, I'll tell everybody this story. This was probably my, like, worst moment there, where we ordered, think of like a Domino's, not sponsored, pizza. That's like a medium pizza. 2 kale salads, which was amazing. The kale salad was so good, but not worthy of what we paid. And 1 Coke and 1 bottled water. We paid $120.
Yeah,
it was $100 plus tip, so it was just miserable.
But it was worth it.
Yeah. So I think we should get on our
next
actual topic, because we could go on and on about
Life.
our dreaded honeymoon price.
Life.
I really wanted to talk about Chem Block.
Chem Block, okay.
Yeah, Chem Block. Obviously me and you watched his series together on Prime Video. For anybody who's missed it, I suggest you do watch it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives you a perspective of how they made all their videos up to these years.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not even like just the videos, because I feel like, it looks really cool, really professional. But then if you get to see what was going on behind the scenes, you get more of a respect for what they're doing. And I feel like...
So basically, Ken Block is, now he's semi-retired race car driver. He used to own DC Shoes.
Yeah, DC Shoes.
And I think they sold it. And with the money, he decided to go into racing. And things took off. You know, he did some rally cross. He did some rally racing. And and they decided to make this video and upload it on YouTube of a Subaru just doing crazy donuts and drifting and all sorts of cool stuff. And within like one night, it had like 2 million views or something crazy, and that was Gymkhana 1.
I think,
and from there, things, he had a good rally career.
Yeah.
And people think he's like 35 years old.
No, he's 50
like
years old.
50 plus.
He's 51 years old, from
right.
what I remember.
So he's starting to tone down on his crazy life, with of being a driver, which I think he's very talented. But
he for sure is.
The type of driving he does is he's very talented. I don't think if you put him on a racetrack and he went for lap times, I don't think he'd be
no.
very good at it.
I think
but
he's good with stunts.
Yeah, he's good with stunts. Stunt driving and rally driving, I don't think he can be touched.
But that's just not who he is, and I think I realized this after I watched the
Well,
series.
he went into racing because it's not like he was a race car driver. He
was a rallier. Is that what you call it, a rallier? Or
he went into becoming a
rallying.
driver after he made the money off of DC shoes. It was like a hobby for him, kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, we just watched the whole Gymkhana Files series on Amazon Prime Video. Not sponsored again. It would be cool though.
I mean, we really don't need to sponsor Amazon more than it is sponsored.
And at the end of the 8th episode, they showed the 10th installment of the Gymkhana series, which I think is very good.
You know what I think is cool about all of this? That they started off with a Subaru.
Right.
And then the last car was a Ford Fiesta.
Ford Fiesta. And then they made this, they call it a hoonicorn. Basically, apparently I just learned this from the show. Hoon is...
It's like something in Australia.
Yeah, it's something in Australia
it means like someone who's like a troublemaker.
Right. So they took that term and made it a hoonigan, like a troublemaker-gin.
Yeah.
A mischief kind of deal. And they went with it, and
is it in Australia?
It's a whole brand now.
No, you know what it was? It's not a troublemaker. It's someone who drives recklessly.
Right.
And it's in Australia and it's in New Zealand.
Right.
Oh my God, side note, do you know that there is nothing dangerous in New Zealand?
What do you mean?
Like, there's no... I was shocked when I read this the other day. Like, there's no snakes or anything. Like, think of how dangerous Australia is.
Okay.
And you know this because I have
a
friend there.
Yeah.
And, like, she tells me all the time she fears going in her backyard sometimes.
Because of animals?
Well, yeah, before she lived in Queensland,
like
now she lives in Sydney.
Walking up to
Sydney. And, Sydney's completely different, she says. But before, she would be afraid to open up her backyard. Like, to the door to her backyard.
Right.
And at this point... Like, I was like, I guess...
What, like a kangaroo walks up instead of a deer?
I mean, I don't think...
I could picture that.
Maybe. Who knows? They probably...
I mean, we have deer here, or like not
well,
deer,
Texas is crazy, too.
So, yeah, there's snakes and all sorts of other animals in Texas.
Yeah, Texas is crazy, and, I know somebody from there. Well, I have a friend there, and she's always talking about how, like, there's stuff in the backyard, or...
Right.
They find a snake dangling from their, attic, something to that extent. And I think that's crazy because, I get freaked out when we see a fly here. You know that I do.
Right.
I'm very anti-bug. I never kill them, though.
That's
good. I don't think that you should take the life of what you didn't create. But that's another topic for another podcast.
Or two.
That's more of a spiritual podcast, I think.
Yeah.
So back to Hoonigan. That was basically their whole thing behind it.
Yep.
And I think that's awesome. They made it kind of their
brand.
They made
it a brand.
Yeah.
Which,
I think that's
very
awesome.
cool. But, they started out with, like you said, a Subaru, and
now they have
4 cars. One's this crazy Mustang with turbos at the hood, and then now they just built a pickup truck with the same similar setup with the EcoBoost V6 from Ford that was used in the Le Mans race, the Le Mans, for those that don't know.
You know what I like about him?
24 hours.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That crazy race that, what's his name, won?
Alonso?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You know what? Formula One, I could talk about all day. Because you got me into Formula One, and I mean, after their 10th race, you knew that Hamilton was going to win. Maybe not their 10th race, but how many races do they have?
It's 21.
Well, okay, then at their 10th race, that was correctly incorrect. But I think at that point, you're just like, let me not watch it. Yeah,
it got boring because...
And it's the same winner every year. Yeah. Oh my God, I was totally rooting for Vettel.
Yeah.
I was totally Vetteling out.
It varied, but...
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next year. When there's a lot of new guys coming up.
We'll see...
and,
how fast Hamilton wins again. You mean next year?
I don't know. It's going to be tough, but...
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like Mercedes is such a good...
He's got a good team.
Yeah, he has an amazing team. And you know what's really weird is I didn't think that you really needed a team behind this, but I think the team does just as more as he does.
The team does more,
just as much as he does.
Yeah, the team does
timing is everything.
If not a lot more than what the driver does. But
everything
the end, comes
it got
down.
Really stupid. I feel like because you knew who the winner was. But people were still like...
Everything comes down to the driver and the car. If they can't both perform, along with the team, it's not a winning combo.
You know who I thought was really... We totally got off the
topic.
Chem block topic. But I think that Formula One is my total... I could talk about it because I was so into it. We used to wake up at 4 a.m. and watch it together.
No, not sleep. Sometimes.
Sleep, yeah.
If we were up, we'd be like, look what's on TV.
We are never up at 4 a.m. Let's just talk about that first.
No, it was either 2 a.m. or early, 6 a.m. But the 2 a.m. race would go up till 4 a.m.
Yeah, and we would stay up and watch it.
Yeah, because we'd be up, and we just kept watching it.
But that's the thing. I'm saying nothing. I'm not the type of person that unless you're really catching my attention or you're really worth my time, I'm not going to stay up.
I agree.
My sleep is precious to me.
Yeah, me too. I love sleeping.
Oh, well, yours is different. Yours is more of an obsession. Mine is actual, we're sleeping. And, it's a necessity. Yours is more of a luxury.
Not necessarily.
Sure.
Only on Sunday and Saturday.
That's why your alarm goes off at 6:30, but you're out of the door by 8.
No, I'm out of the door by 7:45.
Ooh, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really put a handle on there. So, should we go back to Chem Block?
Yeah, we can.
Or should we stay on Formula One because I have a lot to say about Formula One.
We could do that next time.
I just want
because that's a different topic.
Just a little side note about Formula One. I think that Bottas is so petty. He is the pettiest person on that team. He's the
second driver. That's what happens.
He's just petty. Okay, let's go back to Chem Block.
Chem Block is... Yeah, he just took a hobby and made it, surround himself. He wasn't really the best rally driver, but his image. His
best time was 9th place.
Yeah, his image made him famous.
Yeah.
And he just went with it. There's rally drivers that nobody knows about, but everybody knows about Chem Block.
Because I think he took it upon himself
to market
himself, and right. I feel like a lot of people do even anything. If it's marketed the right way, anything can be exposed.
Of course, but it takes a lot of money and
Sure, it
you know,
does, but
time.
from my knowledge,
And sometimes you can't get that back, so it's a risk situation as well.
they became Hoonigan in 2013.
Correct, I believe so.
Before that, I think they were Monster World.
I don't know.
Monster World Rally Team, I think, from what I remember. So, and then he took it upon himself to, brand himself.
Yeah.
And he did it. Good for him, man. Like, what are you going to do?
But, yeah, a lot of work goes into making those videos. And that show on Amazon really shows, the struggles they went through. It's not perfect on the first take. They had to do some stuff 10 times. Mm-hmm. Maybe not 10, but 4 or 5 times to get it right.
But you could tell that from the skid marks of what's produced at the end of the
at the end, obviously
video,
it's not
tell.
a one-shot deal. That would be very skillful.
But some of them he did do it once, and they're like, "Hey, Ken, we're done for the day," which is great.
If the whole thing was shot in one,
it would be too easy. Nothing in life is easy like that.
It's not gonna happen.
His video, that world famous video that he has up on YouTube. Do you know what year that was?
If you look up Gymkhana, you can see how many videos there are.
No, I'm talking about like the original.
The first one? I don't know.
Yeah, I do know he appeared with in Top Gear, which I know you're a huge Top Gear fan.
He has.
He's been there, and I feel like that's when he got for sure.
The YouTube video just like completely.
I agree.
Total
but
overnight just made him
between the time that he appeared on Top Gear to the time that he, what do you call it? He made the YouTube video. I don't think there was a huge gap in between because I feel like he's like, hey, I just made an appearance on the big.
Maybe I don't know.
TV show.
I'm not sure. But he's definitely a cool dude.
He is. I have a lot of respect for him. He's very nonchalant too.
Yeah, he's so calm.
He's just like,
but I feel like
we're
he
just
could
gonna
get pissed
do
off.
Stunt today. Oh yeah, you see him pissed off in the episodes.
Yeah.
You see him like he's like, then that wasn't good enough, which is great. Having that attitude is better than I think this is fine.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool dude.
Yeah, I like him. He's cute too. He is. He has that like.
I'm a badass look.
No, not at all. He has that I'm a sweet guy, but I cause shit look.
Yeah.
Like, those little kids who are just so cute, but they'll like probably break your whole pantry if they went in there or like mess everything up. Like all your cereal would be on the floor. I think he has that troublemaker look about him.
I think so too.
But I don't think he looks like a badass. Oh, wow, he's so hot. He's just adorable.
Yep.
So.
Anything else on this episode we could discuss?
Of Gymkhana? I have nothing else to say. I just wanted to say, the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I thought that he was very...
Oh, you didn't want to watch the video
I didn't. I really didn't.
You.
Yeah, you
I was
did.
like, we're watching this.
You were like, let's just get into it. You'll like it. And I was like, I really won't. It's just a bunch of guys doing donuts. And it wasn't a bunch of guys doing donuts. That's what I initially thought it was. It's one guy struggling. Well, not really struggling, but like struggling to make perfect.
Right.
And he has a whole team behind him, which is so crazy. He has a decorator, like a designer for every scene.
Yeah, they have
just
a director, a producer. Who would think of that, They got mechanics there in case stuff breaks, which is many things have broke.
There was the one part we were watching, I don't know where they were, and he kept hitting the curb.
Yeah, back to back.
And
on the
back,
fourth
and
time.
He was so frustrated. He was, and they said, we're not doing this shot anymore.
Yeah, and then he's like, let me do one more, and he nailed it.
I don't think he did he?
Yeah.
No, I thought they just took that out.
They did it the next day. They came back.
Oh, okay. I probably fell asleep at that point.
Yeah.
There are times when we're watching things and I knock out. And there are many times we're doing something very important and he knocks out, so.
Yep.
Basically, that's it. I mean, I have nothing else to say about it, although
I guess
I didn't know about him.
Right.
Until
and
the
now
series.
You do. So it worked out.
Yeah.
But
on that note, I still think Botas is petty. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, they use him.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
He's a good racer.
He's good.
He's a good racer, a race car driver. He's good. You know, Vettel is
not
my
Hamilton,
favorite.
though.
The other guy is my favorite too. I always forget his name.
Which one?
From Red Bull.
Ricardo? Daniel?
Yes, him. Daniel Ricciardo.
He's going to
Is it Ricardo?
Ricardo, whatever.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, it's not Ricardo. You made him sound like a vegetable.
He's from Australia too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's British. Really? No, I can't do it now. I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, he's going to a different team next year. I think Renault.
Who was the one that retired? Was it Alonso?
Alonso, yep.
Yeah,
He's
hot.
old.
I like
he's
old
not
guys.
old. He's doing other things, but he's been around for a while.
There was this one other guy that I started following on Instagram because I thought he looks good, but I think he's Italian. No, maybe I shouldn't talk about this right now because it's just gonna open it up another whole thing. So I'm gonna end it on that note. But this guy was just gorgeous. His wife is gorgeous too.
Who?
I have no idea.
Now I'm curious. I gotta check it out.
He looks nothing like you. I am more of
What's his name?
Blonde and blue eyes. Blue eyes.
I have blue eyes.
You do not. Maybe under the pool. But no, blue eyes are a big thing for me. Preferably light hair, blonde. My husband is
totally not what I am.
You have really light eyes though. You have really pretty eyes.
Yeah, they're blue.
They're not. They're not blue, babe.
All right.
They're not. But yeah.
To be continued.
To be continued. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about,
comment
because
below.
Clearly we could talk.
Any topics you want,
anything,
we'll discuss it.
Anybody, anyhow, anywho,
we'll see where it goes from there.
Totally try to make a
episode on it. Give a shout out.
Yes, we will. So thank you guys for tuning in again, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.